485-8801.
8.
That's 800-485-8801.
Morning, everybody.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVDF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio.
I found an article.
On all programs are those of the
That,
host.
are you able to read the article?
No, you can read it.
Well, I know that. I know that.
Yeah,
Are you able to read the article? It's not telling you, you're behind a paywall.
No, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
It's a short article. I think it's the one you read.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just making sure because I saw a couple articles, but they're all behind paywalls. So I don't.
You can get it up on that computer?
What?
Can you get it up on that computer?
It's gonna be the same thing if I'm looking at the same article. What article is it? What website? It's
Mass Live.
Okay, Mass Live. It's not behind a paywall, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me get this going. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Middleboro in Review, not Middleboro Matters. Sorry, it's Sunday, and I have not had my morning coffee yet. Don, good morning. How are you?
Welcome to Middleboro in Review, shall we?
It's Middleboro in Review today, yes.
Middleboro,
Not Middleboro Matters.
Middleboro Review.
Yes.
Good morning. How are you? How you doing on this nice dark morning?
Not bad. Not bad today.
The clocks have changed.
Like I did mention, I didn't have my morning coffee yet, so this first segment might be disjointed.
because the clocks have changed.
Yes.
And we're looking at the clock because it hasn't been moved yet. And we're looking at 9 past 6. It says on that clock, but it's really 9 past 7.
All right.
Eastern Daylight Time.
Yes.
Not Eastern Standard Time, which was yesterday at this time. So, spring ahead. So, I guess all the cell phones worked. I remember hearing a story about half the country being late for work because I'm not sure if it was Apple or was Android or whoever it was. So it was a cell phone company where the phones went off an hour. Yeah,
their phones didn't do this thing that said was.
Well, it was a springtime situation, and the phone went off when it normally would go off.
Yeah. And
it was supposed to go off an hour earlier, and half the country was late for work because now everyone depends on these phones for alarm clocks. Years ago, you used to have a little alarm clock. You plug it in, radio alarm clock, or you have an alarm clock that you'd wind up. You ever see one of those, Joey?
I have not. No.
You've never seen an alarm clock you wind up. You wind it, and it goes tick, 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 tick all night. That was your clock that woke you up every morning.
I might have.
Yeah, in a museum, right?
Yes.
Nobody uses. I'm not saying nobody. I'm sure somebody out there uses those still, but everyone uses their cell phone now. They ask Siri. You know, you don't even have to set it anymore. You can just tell your phone to set your alarm. You don't even have to figure out the dials. You don't have to spin the little clock. You don't spin the hour in the minute hand. You don't have to pull out the little lever. You don't have to make sure it's winding. None of that anymore. It's just electronics. But the thing is, if you have no power in your phone because you had a power outage or you forgot, it's still the old trusty alarm clock. The wind-up alarm clock will always be there for you. So I'm sure some people have an alarm clock out there. Anybody got an alarm clock out there? Give us a call. Let us know if you still use an alarm clock, right, Joey?
Yes.
508-822-1106, right? That's the number?
Yes.
All right. Maybe we'll get somebody who has an alarm clock. Maybe a wind-up alarm clock. That'd be really interesting. A wind-up alarm clock. But everyone uses their phones. But happy daylight savings time to everyone out there. And it's going to be people are going to be a little groggy this morning, especially if you get up and you have to work this morning. And it's a little darker than you normally would. But it's going to iron itself out in a few weeks when the sun will be peeking in early into your screens and window shades. So spring is getting here, so it's really nice. Weather was nice last week. And Joey, you're engrossed in everything. Do you want me to keep talking or what?
I'm just looking something up. There was a news story during the USA Radio News that I'm trying to just make sure is confirmed or is in reality, and it's sports related. It's NFL related.
All right, really?
Yes,
No
I
kidding,
just
huh?
want to make sure that is in reality. Actually, there's a couple of NFL things I might want to actually get into today pertaining to the draft. But
That's
we'll
coming
do
up
that.
next-
Yes,
That's coming up next month, right?
yes, we'll do that. We'll do that in a little bit. We'll do that in a little bit. But first, so you, Don, I've already introduced you, and
And then some.
and then some. Yeah.
Kind of taking over the
So
place here. You're over there, glued to the computer over there looking. But you must have heard something. Got you
I did. I heard
intrigued.
something via USA Radio News this morning
Right.
that intrigued me, and it is regards to a trade that the Jets and the Packers are doing for a certain quarterback.
You know what I
I'll
want
get to that.
You
in a
know,
second.
we're talking about wind-up alarm clocks. Maybe I'll get you one for your birthday. You know, a nice wind-up alarm clock.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, and you can wind it every day. You know, you don't have to depend on Siri to wake you up. You can just hear that obnoxious alarm clock, and you put it on the other side of the room, and
Yeah.
you're forced to get up, stumble across, trip over your sneakers or whatever, and that's a good way to start the day. Let's remember starting the day that way.
Okay. Blood drives. So let's do blood drives and then take a commercial break, and then we'll do a quick little sports segment because there's a few things I want to get to, and then we will get to our bulk of the show. There's a few things I want to get to today. Don, there's a few things you want to talk about, of course. You mentioned to me yesterday on the air. Well, not on the air with Paul. I think after we got off the air with Paul. That there was something with the MBTA you wanted to maybe talk about. And we'll definitely get to that today. And there's a few other things, too. We went on a nice journey yesterday, Don, and we'll talk a little bit about that here on the show today as well.
Yeah, we saw some supplemental. I mean, a couple weeks ago, we had Danny Harmon on. He called in. He's Distant Signal Productions. He's a filmmaker in Florida. And last time I was on, we were talking about graffiti.
Yes.
And whatever. But there's some paint artwork done on an overpass in Westminster, Mass, which is pretty moving in my opinion, and it just goes to show the team's love for a coach.
For a coach, yeah.
For a coach, and I mean, we've had a coach pass away in 2017, Coach Nelson.
Yeah, who I knew personally.
Yeah, I met him too, and he was a great person.
Yeah.
And
we've just had a baseball coach over the past few years as well, passed away as well.
And it's really it's tough. It's funny, when a coach passes away because that coach has been with, especially if they coached your children's in football or baseball or whatnot, they really are part of the fabric of your life. A lot of life lessons drawn through adolescents going through a football or baseball or sports situation in a time frame. And it's something that these kids will never forget. They got to have that for the rest of their lives, and they got to have those memories for the rest of their life. So, and plus, yesterday I fell into a sentimental, and it was at the same time. It was within 10 minutes. I saw that.
You saw something from your childhood.
I saw something from my childhood, and then first of all I saw what was on that bridge, and that moved me, and then 10 minutes later I saw something that always wanted to try to remember where this place was from my childhood and family tradition for our family, for the Driscolls, that went back to the 1950s, I believe. That's what my aunt told me. Now it's all coming back to me, and we'll share that with you.
All right, let's do blood drives for quick, and then we will talk about all that. We'll get to sports first because it's something I want to talk about, and it is related to the NFL draft. Something that I wanted to mention, and it involves a certain movie actor that a lot of people know from a hit TV show that's out there on the Paramount Network. It's a hit show, and everyone, definitely a lot of people probably know what show I'm talking about, what actor I'm talking about. But this is pertaining to the NFL draft as well. I want to talk about it. But the next segment, we'll do that here. Let's do blood drives first. All right, we have several blood drives coming up. We have one tomorrow, Monday, March 13th, at Carver Middle School at 60 South Meadow Road in Carver, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Next Monday, March 20th, at Rosebrook Event Center, 50 Rosebrook Place, number 1. That's in Wareham, 1 p.m. to 5:45 p.m. Tuesday, March 21st, 2023, Reed Community Center, 33A Summer Street in Kingston, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Thursday, March 30th, at St. Anne's Church, 660 North Main Street in Raynham, Massachusetts, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Friday, March the 31st, Carver Library at 2 Meadowbrook Way, and that's in Carver, 11:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And in April 12th, Wednesday, April 12th, Church of Our Savior, 60 Union Street in Middleboro, 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And on Wednesday, March 19th, at Coannet Community Health Center, 5 Wally Kruger Way in Bridgewater, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And those are the blood drives for this morning. If you want to give us a call, 508-822-1106. We're going to be talking about sports. In just a minute, we're going to talk about Celtics, Bruins, NFL draft, New England Revolution. If Barry is out there listening today, give us a call, Barry, during the next segment. Talk about New England Revolution.
And if you have a wind-up alarm clock, give us a call. I want to know how many people still use wind-up alarm clocks.
Again,
Not a radio alarm clock,
yeah,
but a wind-up alarm where you just spin it.
All right, well, sports segment's coming up next. 508-822-1106. Just after this commercial break, you're listening to Middleboro in Review on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. Come on. There we go. That's a pain sometimes. That instant replay machine's kind of a pain. Alright. 403. Alright, I want to talk about
48 Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies.
Out, chin up.
Reach them at 508
just hand me that article. I can't find that article.
That's all. I'll give you that.
Yeah. When we're ready to talk about that, which will be just before the end of the segment.
All right. Okay, and then we got to remember what it says, too. We got to remember chest out, chin up.
Chest out, chin up. Got it.
R.I.P. Coach Raff. Number 72. So I'm thinking 72.
Got it.
Is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby. Our mission
Okay, good.
is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities.
That's the obituary, right?
Meal, clothing, shelter.
Yeah. This is the obituary. Yeah. This is the right thing to pretty much read.
Well, you're not going to say he survived by blah, blah, blah.
No, I'm not going to say that part.
But make sure, I guess, what I'm trying to say is when you read it,
Yeah.
make sure you end it well. You know, you don't want to kind of end it abruptly. As you get into it, you kind of know when you come to that part. So gracefully,
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just gracefully kind of end it where it doesn't sound like you just, like you're pulling a needle off a record, you know what I mean? Just try to do. And if you can't do it, it doesn't sound like, then do the whole read, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to sound like you're pulling a needle off a record.
Exactly.
You know what I mean by that?
I know, I understand.
Hi,
I don't have time for you to explain it. I know.
Huh?
I don't have time for you to explain it. I know.
You don't have what?
I don't have time for you to explain it. I understand. I understand.
Pipe down.
Yeah.
Can you pipe down over there?
I get it. I understand. I know.
So join me for Medicare Minute with Martha, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday mornings at
I'm good with the reads.
No, you are
For the
good
most
with the
part.
reads.
So-
But I just noticed because
WBBF, your hometown.
just remind
I'm
us.
good with it.
I'm not
I'm
telling
good
you-
with it.
I'm not telling you what to do. man.
I'm not worried about the reads.
I'll pipe down, okay?
WBBF, the sounds of the Emerald Isle. We'll have some great Irish music, some folk, traditional, country, and contemporary.
So yeah, maybe-
And sometimes some live singers.
Maybe you'll be able to contribute to this sports segment.
That's Sunday.
How?
Right here on
You know how? I just literally mentioned how.
and on the internet.
On the air. We're gonna talk about draft day.
Chest out,
Oh,
chin
come
up.
on.
Chest out, chin up.
Yep. And welcome back as I turn the music down. There we go. All right. It is 11. Again, I'm thinking it's Middleboro Matters. It is 7:23. It's 11:23 somewhere, but not here. 7:23
That's funny
a.m.
because how your mind is wired. Because 11, when you come back from the first commercial on Middleboro Matters, that show starts at 11.
It is pretty
Yeah,
much
you probably-
11:20.
You run the
something,
commercials all at the same time. So,
yeah. Yes.
You know?
Yeah, pretty much. The commercials are running around the same time for that show.
I think
as
a lot
this
of
show,
people
so.
are going to be in a funk because
Yeah.
little misty eyes this morning because of the clock change. It usually takes a while.
It'll take me a few hours to adjust, I think.
It
but-
takes people a few days for this.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as the fall situation, the
No.
fall back because you lose your daylight.
Yeah.
And that's hard on people.
It is, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's do our sports segment. Again, if you want to call in, 508-822-1106 is the number. So there is some pretty major news out there that's broke yesterday and is currently it's in limbo, this particular piece of news, but it's a huge possibility that Aaron Rodgers will not be in a Green Bay Packer uniform next year. He will be moving to the more cold in some aspects, East Rutherford, New Jersey.
It's not more cold than...
More cold in the winter sometimes, maybe.
No, what? Green Bay, Wisconsin? Green Bay, Wisconsin's the North Pole.
If it gets snow.
Oh, come
If
on.
there's snow, yes. If there's snow, but I mean,
Where's he going? The Jets?
he's going to the Jets. Yes, yes.
Yuck.
It's the same. It's the same weather situation, but a little different. It's a little warmer during the early part of the winter.
Oh, what are you, a weatherman now? Come on. I mean, it's colder in Green Bay.
Yes, it's
Wisconsin.
colder temperature-wise.
All right, well.
But they still get the snow.
I'll fight with you in the car on the way.
They still get the snow.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The
Yeah.
New York Jets, they still get the
I
snow,
thought they were going to set
and
up
they
like,
still get the temperatures sometimes.
I thought you just say, oh, he's going to Minnesota or something like that. Then I'll believe you.
No,
No?
Minnesota is
Green
right
Bay,
around the same
Green
temperatures.
Bay is one of the most coldest stadiums in the NFL.
Yes, I know that.
So he
I understand that.
he-
I'm just saying.
might as well be going to Florida.
I'm just saying it's the same kind of weather because during the winter it's kind of cold there too.
Yeah, it's the Northeast, of course.
Yes,
But
so
he's not
it's
going-
cold there.
He's not going to Miami.
No,
he's
no, he's not.
He's not. He's not going to.
I don't think he is.
All right. Okay.
But he's going to the Jets.
He's definitely going to the Jets.
We think. It hasn't been confirmed yet that he's going to the Jets. It is a trade that is currently being worked out between the Jets and the Packers. So that will be interesting. I don't think it'll take long. Like I said, with the weather, I don't think it'll take long for Aaron Rodgers to adjust.
You know what? I like Aaron Rodgers. Maybe I'll be rooting for the Jets for the first time in my life.
Maybe. So, yeah, it is colder in Green Bay. What I meant by that is it's the same kind of weather. That's what I meant by that.
You know, you got the Gemini trait through and through. I'm telling you.
That's what I meant. No. I'm saying.
To explain yourself.
Yeah.
You take the whole hour.
What I meant.
To explain yourself about the situation.
Give me a second here.
All right.
What I meant was it's the same kind of weather during the winter. Well, it is colder in Green Bay, yes,
colder.
And there gets snow.
Much colder, yeah.
And they get snow.
Yep.
But so does East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes equivalent sometimes to Green Bay if there is a major snowstorm, which doesn't happen that often.
We had this year?
Which doesn't happen that often, but it does happen.
All right.
But okay. Green Bay, it always snows, it seems like.
Okay. I agree on your hypothesis of the situation.
If Aaron Rodgers can deal with the weather in Green Bay, I'm sure he can deal with the weather in New Jersey.
It's like moving to Arizona or Florida for him. The weather in Green Bay is extreme.
Yes.
I mean, we have normal, even Boston, we have normal weather. And sometimes we have like a curveball like we had on February 4th when it was 9 below here.
Yes.
Remember how cold it was?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Aaron Rodgers will definitely
exciting news,
will definitely adjust really quickly.
Nice.
In East Rutherford, New Jersey. I highlight that. Yes, I highlight that because the name of the team is the New York Jets.
There's no room in New York to put a stadium. That's why.
I don't. Again,
it bothers you. It bothers a lot of people.
It does. It bothers me a little bit.
They put it in the best spot possible.
Yes, it bothers me a little bit that.
Why doesn't New Jersey have a team? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, okay. It bothers me a little bit that both the Giants and the Jets are both New York. Bothers me a little.
They both use the same stadium.
And they both use the same stadium. That doesn't bother me because other teams do that.
Right.
The fact is that they play in New Jersey. And I think one of the teams should be called like the New Jersey Jets or something.
Well, didn't they do that with the Brooklyn Nets? They moved over to Brooklyn, right? Were they in New York? Were they in Madison Square?
Where were they? We have a phone call. Hold on one second.
Oh, okay.
Let me get my headphones going here.
I wonder if this is about the alarm clock.
I think it's about the Jets situation. Good morning, caller. You're on Middleboro in Review. Nope. Try that again. Yep, okay, thank you. I caught half of that.
Okay.
Sorry, caller. Something about the information about Taunton.
Do we have any
news stories? We do have an election coming up in Taunton. I will get the date for that, and I will report back in the next segment. And we will do some other stuff with that as well going forward with Taunton over the next couple of weeks. Because I know, again, there is an election coming up in April, and they are also preparing for an election, I think, November as well. So they're preparing for that. There was a lot of talk about that yesterday on Silver City Meeting House, which is on Saturday mornings from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
You want to get the inner workings of Taunton. That Silver City Meeting House is the show to listen to. That is
the show to listen to.
9 and 10, okay? You have Barry Sanders and Carol Doherty, and they are Taunton.
Yeah, Barry Sanders is a city councilor.
Exactly.
And Carol also is in government as well.
Yeah,
so
she's a
state rep. So she's a state rep as well. So they are the people to talk to when it comes to Taunton.
Right.
I will definitely try to get some information about the election in the next segment, though, for Taunton, because I know there is a pretty important election coming up at the end of April.
Right, and then we have Middleboro, the elections in Middleboro.
Yes, we have the elections in Middleboro. That's coming up on
right.
April 1st.
If anyone was listening on Middleboro Matters, you had Nathan Demers, Board of Selectmen, came in the studio, and you had Thomas White calling, and they're both candidates for Middleboro Selectmen. So I think we cover a lot of that anyway.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. And just to finish up the train wreck that was the Aaron Rodgers thing.
Yeah, let's finish that up.
I do that to rile you up, Don.
you?
I do that
yeah.
sometimes to rile you up.
Yeah, so, like that, that caller, didn't want to hear anything about sports.
I am well aware of Green Bay and how cold it is. Aware. So I do that to rile you up, Don. Okay, so that's story number one.
That's good radio.
Story number two, real quick. The Bears have traded the number one pick to the Panthers, which is interesting. That's it. NFL draft is the 27th to the 29th. And I bring that up. There's a great movie. If you want to learn more about the draft, the day of the draft, the inner workings of the draft, check out Draft Day. Fantastic film. It's with Kevin Costner and Jennifer Gardner. They're both great in the film. It is
Dennis Leary.
Dennis Leary's in it. He's fantastic in the film as well.
And a lot of other actors you might have
really
seen
good.
on different movies. Like I wouldn't know their names, but you've seen them in other movies and other programs. And it's a really good, well put together movie.
Ivan Reitman directed the film, which was his final directorial effort before his passing in 2022. And that came out in 2014, so he didn't do much after this one. But again, this was Ivan Reitman's last film that he directed, and Ivan Reitman has directed some really good films. Really quick, Revolution take on last year's MLS Cup winners, LAFC, at 10:30 this evening. It's in LA, so that's why it's at 10:30. The next Celtics game is tomorrow at 8 p.m. They picked up a victory against the Atlanta Hawks yesterday, so they face the Rockets. Bruins take on the Red Wings again this afternoon. They took on that team to pick up their 50th win the other day. And that's it. That's the sports segment. Let's move on. All right, let's move on. All right. Dawn, you have something that I want to read. And we were talking about this earlier.
Okay, yep. I'll set it up for everybody. We were in Westminster yesterday, and we were out looking for film locations. Our friend Danny Harmon's coming up to do some filming up here on his distant signal production. Wants to come up here. We'll find him some spots where he can film some good approaches for the trains. And we saw a trestle on the side of the cement. It was some writing. First look at it, it's like, that's not graffiti. That was, the town let them do it. But it says chest up, chin out. No, I'm sorry. Chest, it's chin up. So it's chest out, chin up.
Chest out, chin up, yes.
Right. Rest in peace, Coach Rapp.
Coach Rapp,
72. Yeah. And we kind of figured out what was that all about. And we kind of looked at it, and Joey came up with an obituary.
Yes, okay, so let me read that obituary right now. Charles D. Raff, Fitchburg, and formerly of West Springfield, Massachusetts, passed away on Sunday morning. This was back in October. Sunday morning, October. I don't have that exact date for you. But at the age of 39, Charlie graduated from West Springfield High School. He went on to attend Fitchburg State University, where he earned his degree in education. Charlie had a commendable professional career. He began his journey at Gardner High School, and from There, he continued to make a tremendously positive impact on every player at Leominster High School, Oakmont Regional High School, Fitchburg High School, and North Middlesex. Charlie supported and attended unified sports games throughout his career, as well as the Best Buddies program. While coaching was Charlie's foremost passion, he held many professional roles in the school systems, including Leominster High School, Oakmont, and Fitchburg High Schools, as well as most currently being in the Milford Public Schools as an attendance supervisor. In these endeavors, he exhibited passion and energy to every student he encountered. He had a fiery spirit and a contagious smile that would light up any room, and he would always put the needs of others before his. Dozens of students and athletes remembering Charlie have said, "I wouldn't be the person today without him." And Charlie's love for all his students and former athletes that he had coached was immeasurable. So many people are better today because of him. There are no words that are enough to express how special and irreplaceable Charlie was to every life he had touched.
You're probably wondering why we're talking about a coach in Leominster or in Fitchburg. And the reason is, sometimes things touch home a lot. We saw the mural. It was the writing on a bridge. So obviously the students and faculty of people he worked with took the time to put that on a railroad trestle overpass. They did a pretty good job on it. And the town of Westminster gave them the permission to do it. Probably the MBTA or Norfolk Southern gave them the permission to do it, probably, because it's their property. And we just go back to Coach Nelson, who passed away in 2017 from Middleboro High School. He was well known and loved by everybody. And it just goes to show, even 60 miles, 70, 80 miles away from Taunton and Middleboro, where this show is being broadcast, it's still a love for coaches and faculty and teachers, because you always remember your coach, you always remember your high school teacher, and they're heroes in my opinion, because they put up with a lot of adolescents, they put up with a lot, and they do the best they can to teach children and give them life lessons. I remember Littleton and Middleboro played in
2017.
Okay. All right, it was a few months after
Yeah.
Coach Nelson passed away.
December.
Yeah, it was December, and I think Coach Nelson passed away over the summer.
In July, I believe.
Okay. And their team brought it home for them.
Yeah.
They won the Super Bowl in their division against Littleton. It was a great game. Me and Joey were there at Foxborough Stadium.
Yeah.
Or Gillette Stadium. So and then it was funny because it was pretty crowded in the Middleborough side of things. There was players that were from 10, 15 years ago with their jackets on, supporting. And that's loyalty, that's love, in my opinion. So when we saw that writing on that trestle yesterday, of course, you're curious, you want to know what's that all about. And again, it's just another coach, another part of the state, which their students really loved and admired. Sounds like a major accomplishments this man accomplished. And, 39, that's young. But I mean, imagine he still affected a lot of people.
Yeah.
Moved a lot of people. For enough for them to go out and paint on the side of a bridge.
Yeah.
Now it will be up forever.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, that is just something that you have to take pause in, I guess. As you run around, you get your phones and things running around and everything's busy. Sometimes it's good just to look at something like that. Smell the roses, in a way. You have to slow down and appreciate it, even if it's far away and people you don't know, because we're all connected in that way. And, we all feel the same, I think. That's pretty much what I'm saying on that.
Okay. Before we go to commercial break, let's talk a little bit about Taunton here. There is an election in Taunton on the 29th of April. The city will hold a special referendum election on the 29th of April relative to the proposed public safety building complex. There is a proposed new safety public building that is being proposed. Polls are going to be open from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. There has been some conversation about the polling times, but about that, and they talked about that. Barry and Carol talked about that yesterday. Talked about the election in detail yesterday as well.
Yeah, that's the show. Again, what we said earlier after the caller. We do touch some Taunton, some Middleboro. We pretty much talk sports. We're all over the place.
We talk about Middleboro mostly, and some Taunton.
Yeah. But as far as the nuts and bolts of Taunton, I mean, you want to get down to the nitty gritty nuts and bolts. Pretty much everything. Silver City Meeting House. It's been on 16 years, something crazy like that. 17 years. 15 years, I don't know, long time, right?
Yes.
All right.
18, I think.
That's the show to listen to. I'm telling you, anything that's going on in Taunton, they will talk about.
So I really don't know a whole lot about this upcoming election for Taunton, unfortunately. Right. I can look up some information.
And also Jim DuPont.
Jim DuPont,
you listened during the week.
Yeah,
he talks about the city council
about this quite a bit.
Down to the letter. He talks about any kind of municipality situations, any kind of projects that's coming up. And he's on right now during the winter months. He's on 5 days a week, between 9 and 12 on Tuesdays, right?
Yes. And so I will try to get some more information before the end of this month, and we'll have a show talking about this. We'll have a show talking about the Middleboro election too. We've like I said, we've already had two board of select board. It's actually called select board, I believe now, not board of selectmen. I think it's select board now. Select board candidates on the Middleboro Matters show this past Thursday. I had Nathan Demers and I had Thomas White. Again, I want to thank them both for calling in and having the interview on Thursday. But yes, we'll have a show about those two elections, the Middleboro election and the Taunton special referendum. I gotta just try to get some more information about the special referendum in Taunton because I don't know a whole lot.
And also, too, we kind of forgot to mention it, but we had a guest scheduled today, Chuck Hart.
Yes, and he was unable to come in because of family obligations.
All right, Chuck Hart he's been on the show twice, and he's great. We love having him here. He is the president of the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry for Middleboro, Carver, Lakeville, and Rochester. Again, I said that yesterday on Paul's show. I watched that operation. I had the pleasure of being there about 3 weeks ago, and he gave me the tour of how everything works at the food pantry, and it's a well-oiled machine over there. I'm really impressed with what's going on. They did such a good job. The volunteers are there, and they were so nice to me, and they took the time to, and they were getting ready to, start their business day and start handing out food. And I guess how it works is you pull up to the back parking lot, and I believe you take a number, and then they, at some point when your number's up, they grab you and you do the walkthrough, and you pick up what you want, and then you head out. So they don't have. It's not like a supermarket where you have a bunch of people. I think they have like a couple people at a time, and then when they're done, they go out and they leave, and then they call the other number, and then more people they shuffle through there. So it's not one of those deals where you're bumping into all these people. They got it pretty much. And I guess they kind of had to do it that way for the pandemic. So maybe they're just keeping that maybe before the pandemic, maybe it was different. But now I think protocols are a lot different since the pandemic, and sometimes maybe it works because it's kind of crowded. It's kind of a small spot down there. They're really doing an amazing job for such a small space down there. And Dave Cunningham, that was the guy who that was the man who called in. He was a volunteer too. He called in with Ray LaBrea, I think last year, on the phone, and I got the pleasure to meet him.
Yeah.
And he gave me the tour of the meat rooms, and all the refrigerators they had there, and the fresh produce. So that was really impressive. So I mean, if you ever have a chance to volunteer, I believe they got a website or a phone number. Just go online. St. Vincent's de Paul Food Pantry. They're on Oak Street in Middleboro. So or anything you can do to help them, or if you need assistance. But we really have Chuck. I'd love to have Chuck on, and I'm sure he's going to be on sometime soon. And but he had a family obligation he had to deal with last minute.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break. Before I do that, maybe we were talking about the Taunton actually coming up on the 29th. Don, maybe it's a good idea to have a someone who is well versed in that issue, the April 29th election about the public safety building. To have someone who's well versed in this issue, like a city councilor. Barry Sanders comes to mind. Maybe we'll definitely do that.
Maybe we can ask him, when you see him next week, maybe you can ask him if he can call in and maybe touch on that a little bit for maybe this particular caller listens on Sunday and doesn't listen on Saturday and might want to get something in there. But
I'll probably call before the Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to...
Yeah, if he's around and he's up for calling in and maybe kind of explaining to your audience, to the Middleboro Review audience, the Sunday morning audience, because...
I think it would be a good idea because us two are not too well versed in this particular election coming up.
Well, I mean, if you really, like I said, if you really want to get the nuts and bolts, you talk to the nuts and bolts. You talk to you talk to the carpenters. You talk to the people who are the lawmakers, are the decision makers of the area.
Absolutely.
And that's coming from the horse's mouth. Big time. You know?
Yeah, so definitely 2 shows to check out on WVBF if you want to learn more about the April 29th election in Taunton. Is Jim DuPont's show, Monday through Fridays.
Hometown
Talk, and then Summer City Meeting House on Saturday mornings as well.
At 9.
Great shows.
9 on Saturdays.
9 a.m. to 10, and then Jim DuPont is 9 to 11 or 9 to 12, depending on the day.
No, the day is...
Tuesdays, he's 9 to 12.
Right.
The rest of the days, he's 9 to 11.
Right. Monday, Tuesday... Monday 9 to 11.
Yeah.
Tuesday 9 to 12, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 9 to 11.
We'll work on that for next week's show.
Yeah. Maybe. So call us. So if that's the best
definitely.
thing. That's the best thing to do, and we'll try to get. Hopefully Barry can call in next Sunday, and something like I said.
Maybe I'll try to call him this afternoon or later on this morning.
Yeah. All right. Want to keep all our audiences happy.
All right, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, something I want to touch on. 2 things I want to touch on for this week coming up in Middleboro. All right, we'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review. I'm Joey Driscoll. You're listening to WVA 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. We will be right back. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to give him a call 9 o'clock or something, maybe. I'm sure he'll be up at 9.
No, don't call him tonight. Just call him later.
I just said I was going to call him probably today.
Yeah, but I'll wait. I'll wait till like 11. Make sure he's out of bed. And
I'll call him today sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe this afternoon or late this morning. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I have someone who's well versed in this because I know nothing.
Yeah, I
know
mean,
nothing.
we're
Literally
everywhere.
nothing
If there's something
about
going on in town, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Something going on in Middleboro, we'll talk about sports. That's the format of the show.
Like I know nothing about
But
this.
I mean,
April
but
29th election.
if you have one call, you can't just drop your format of show because the
Yeah,
caller wants
yeah.
it. You just try to do the best you can to accommodate the caller, but I mean, you don't.
and we
don't
did.
change it.
And we did.
Yeah,
I
you don't
talked
change-
about I talked about what I knew.
Yeah, you don't change the show format, you know.
Yeah. You gotta try to work with some of these callers, though. They want to know something.
Yeah. This is kind of a slapstick show too.
Crap, I gotta pay attention. I just played Spark Street again, so I gotta pay attention. Give me a second, okay?
Yep.
I gotta pay attention, okay? Because I played Spark Street twice today.
That's all right. You're kind of off your game today.
Well, I was off my game because you were talking to me.
Oh, I won't talk to you.
I wasn't paying attention. I gotta try to pay attention here though, because I gotta play these commercials. Alright, we'll just play 160. We're just gonna play 163, and that's it. Alright,
Yeah, but I mean, when you
one more commercial, and then we're coming back.
when you have a guest and
Yeah, I just want to try to get some information about this, just people are aware of it.
well, what?
The April 29th election, because I know there's people listening in time.
Okay.
And want to know more about that. And I know this is Middleboro in review, but
No, whatever.
we're gonna talk about it a little bit if there are questions that come up about it. Want to try to be accommodating to that.
Yeah, to a certain point.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're not going to change your whole concept of the show. I mean, we've been doing this
I know, I
for
understand.
3 years.
Yeah. All right. What was the thing I wanted to do? Oh yeah. Log into my Gmail. Excuse me. All right, there we go. Okay, perfect. Okay. Things coming up for this week. Oh, crap. And we are back. So I turn the music down. There we go. Turn the music down. And put Don's mic on here. Alright. So we have a couple of events coming up for the month of March in Middleboro. We have the first event. Actually, the first event this week is the online auction for Middleboro Rotary, and that is going to be on the 16th. That is Thursday the 16th. Again, that is emanating live from online, but it will be streamed live at the MatCam Studios. I think the auction items will be be presented live. As they usually are, but this is an online auction now, so it's a completely different from what it used to be. So it's very interesting to see what it will be like this year. But online auction for the Rotary Club this year. On Friday, we have Middleboro native Ed Patrick Priest is headlining Kiss Me, I'm Irish at the Alley Theater on St. Patrick's Day, which is going to be Friday. The evening will feature Irish music, sing-alongs, Irish humor, and an Irish step dancer. Priest has been entertaining audiences for decades. Doors open at 6, and entertainment begins at 6:30, and tickets are $25. And Elvis will be in the building at a Middleboro fundraiser. The Friends of the Middleboro Cemeteries, Inc. presents a night of 50s rock and roll music and dancing on Saturday, the 25th of March. That is from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Entertainment by Joe Brown as Elvis will be at 7 p.m. in the Oak Point Ballroom. And I've talked about the Oak Point Ballroom, a beautiful venue to have an event like this. Beautiful ballroom. I don't know if I think you've been there too, Don. Beautiful ballroom.
Yeah, no, it is really nice, yes.
And that is at 200 Oak Point Drive in Middleboro. Tickets are $26, cash only, sold at Oak Point Social Office. And a couple of other places as well will have it, the tickets. And they'll be sold at the door as well. This is not a BYOB event. There will be a cash bar and services like that. And snacks will be available as well as a 50-50 raffle. And proceeds from this event will benefit the Friends of the Middleboro Cemeteries. Those are the events coming up this week in Middleboro. It is 7:57. Let's do Today in History. We have a couple of Today in Histories. 1 second here. Let me load that up. It takes a second sometimes. All right, March 12th. We have one Today in History, and that is the during the Great Depression, March 12th, 1933. Franklin Delano Roosevelt addresses the nation for the first time as President of the United States. This is also the first of his fireside chats, which would become some of the most important radio programs of that era. The fireside chats, really important. Don, your quick thoughts on this?
Well, back in the 30s, there wasn't many television sets yet. I mean, people had TVs, but you had to be pretty much well off to have TV, so everyone just got around the radio. And years ago, a lot of people didn't have radio, so everyone used to get together in like families' houses, or they'd all get together like in maybe a general store, and there'd be like a group of people listening to the fireside chats, and that was I've read up a little bit about that, and so it's really interesting how that, considering what we have today. We're talking today in the show about the phones and the alarm clocks and everything we have now as far as communication. Communication wasn't really something we had much of.
Yeah.
It was the radio back then was huge because in the 1800s it was it was Morse code through the wires. So
yeah, it was. Birthdays on this day. We have 3 birthdays today to talk about. 1806, Jane Pierce, American wife of Franklin Pierce, who Jane Pierce is the 15th First Lady of the United States, and Franklin Pierce, of course, President of the United States. 1938, Ken Spears, American writer, co-creator of Scooby-Doo. Don.
Scooby-Doo. That's my saying. I say if you go home and relax, go watch Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Put your feet up and drink hot chocolate and eat and watch Scooby-Doo and stay out of the weather.
And Don, you'll like this one. This guy is in my top 10 of bass players. His birthday is today, and that is Steve Harris. Yes, English bass player for Iron Maiden.
Do I got 30 seconds, Joey?
Yeah, 30 seconds, yes.
We talk about it. It's funny how you go out exploring and you find something from your childhood memories that you thought you'd never find again. There was a particular restaurant out in Westminster that my family used to go to all the time in the fall. And I guess it was a tradition from my aunt and my father, with her father and my father's father used to go to this restaurant all the time from the 60s or the 50s and 60s. That's what my aunt told me. And yeah, I think we went until, I don't know, maybe I was 18 and 19. It was tradition. We had to go. My Aunt Rita says, you have to go.
Yeah.
You don't care what you go on with your friends. You're not hanging out with your friends. You're going to the... I was forced to. And I was like, all right, whatever. I found it yesterday for the first time. And I knew where this place was. And I was thinking about this for the last 10 years. I knew it was in that area, Fitchburg, Gardner area. I thought it was in Gardner. I found it. And it was just like, my memories flashed right across from me. It was unbelievable. So I might go out there and check out this restaurant in Westminster. That
okay.
Part of my family's legacy and history.
Yeah. All right. It is March 12th. Thank you, everyone, for listening today to Middleboro in Review. I'll be back on Thursday, March 16th, with another edition of Middleboro Matters. Until then, have a good rest of your weekend and a great week. Bye-bye, everybody.
I like how we back and forth about Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay. That was fun.
I do that. I do that to rile you up.
It's good radio.
I know. I'm well aware Green Bay is cold. even on East Rutherford, New Jersey's worst day.
It's the best day.
It's the best day in Green Bay.
I thought you were saying that you're going to Minnesota because that's the one.
No, well, yes, yeah, but I don't think it's as cold as.
Minnesota's cold, man.
Yeah, but I don't think it's as cold as Green Bay. Green Bay is like.
Green Bay's
Boy, Green Bay is another.
But you know what?
Another level. Bye, everybody.